Right now, I believe that the most important thing for those who are the true remnant of God to prioritize is intimacy. Intimacy over calling, intimacy over platform, and intimacy over self glory. When we look at the word, whenever Jesus felt overwhelmed, happy, sad, no matter what he was feeling, he always made it a priority to go off into a quiet place and to sit still with God, to really get back into alignment and really put himself in a position to know what was the perfect will of the Father. One thing I'm noticing throughout our generations and some of the new generations coming up is that the biggest distraction within ourselves and that's blocking us from having intimacy with our Father is our phone. When TikTok was banned for 12 hours or 15 hours, whatever it was, I believe that was a time period where the Lord was testing the heart posture of many people. And unfortunately, a lot of us failed. A lot of us began to freak out and we began to become worried because we wouldn't have TikTok anymore. But it's sad because there's a huge reliance right now on online ministers. A lot of us don't really have a relationship with God for ourselves. We don't have a prayer life. We don't have a consecrated life. And so as a result, we look to our local prophet on TikTok, or we look to our local minister on Instagram to speak or hear a word from the Lord instead of us going directly to him and long suffering in that process so we can really establish that relationship. And there's going to come a time where not only TikTok is going to be shut down, but we're not going to have access to any social platform. And we may not even have access to the Bible anymore. And that's where intimacy and the fruit thereof is going to be really important. It's going to be tested. Will you have the scripture written on your heart? Will you be able to say that you have a prayer life? Or when those things diminish, will your life and your walk with God diminish as well? And so I believe that right now the Lord is going to raise up many people who are authentic in intimacy with him. And it's being exposed even now that many of the influencers whose hearts aren't really for the Lord, but they really want their own platform and their own calling and their own level of self-glory, it's all being exposed right now. So there's nothing more fulfilling than having a personal relationship with the Lord over whatever relationships we can have in our life, over whatever material things we can have in our life. And so intimacy is what's going to get us through the times that are to come, and it's also going to get us through the circumstances that we're going through right now. Right now, I believe that the most important thing for those who are the true remnant of God to prioritize is intimacy. Intimacy over calling, intimacy over platform, and intimacy over self-glory. When we look at the word, whenever Jesus felt overwhelmed,